everyone, and welcome to another episode of Draw With Me, where we put 10 minutes on the clock and try and draw as much as possible. Now, this challenge is for you to try and level up your artistic skill within a timed limit. Now, it is a bit rough, I have to say, because sometimes you can make it and sometimes you won't. But in the end, it's all about practice and practice and practice, because the more you do it, the faster you get and the better it will become when you start drawing longer projects and you realize that you are going a lot faster than you anticipated. Now, the materials don't matter, so if you want to do pencils or pen or color pencils or crayons, completely up to you. Also, whether you want to do headshots, torso, full body, action shots, doesn't matter. It is completely up to you as long as you're the one being challenged. Now, the one thing that we do together is that we draw the same character, and since it is Black History Month, we are drawing black superheroes, and today's character is Steel. Now, there is plenty of reference and different iterations of Steel, so you can pick whichever one you want, but if you do not know this character, please go ahead and pause this video, head on over and grab your reference and your materials, and when you are ready, come on back and we will get started as soon as you're back. All right, well, welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and add 10 minutes on the clock. And we're gonna get started in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so Steel is from Superman, right? And this was after the death of Superman happened. And, they're like, well, we've just killed off Superman, so now what do we do? And so, they really needed to, they're just kind of like, crap, we need new, and I'm sure it's not like, oh, we killed them off, now what? Because they knew what they were planning before they had to, kill off Superman. But the thing is that they definitely were like, oh, we need new characters, right? And so since they needed new characters, they created a bunch of different Superman. The Cyborg Superman, and then there was a Cyborg Superman, there was Kid Superman, there was Steel, so there was just a lot of characters that they created. And Steel was just, he was like, I'm a person who sees that Superman is gone, if memory serves me right. Now, I could be wrong, but if memory serves me right, it was, I'm a guy, and he's donned on this suit so that he could help protect the neighborhood and stuff like that. Like, he was really just trying to be, helpful where he could and stuff like that. And so, he was like, oh, I don't know. It was kind of cool. I liked all the different iterations. They were really fun. Not even gonna lie. So I know that there's a lot of people who are like, man, these other iterations and Supermans and stuff is really stupid. And, you can't deny a lot of the parts that are like, it's alright, I guess. That's fair. But I love the idea of new characters, because I was never really a big Superman fan because he was so, freaking perfect. And so it made it really hard for me to get into Superman. But as time has gone on, I'm like, oh, Superman's really cool. But, at the time, it was just like, oh, we need to create some new characters, when they were like, we need to create new characters, and they created Steel. And Steel got a movie, and if I'm not mistaken, it was played by Shaquille O'Neal, which was fun. Right? And you're like, oh, that's okay. Right? So it was played by Shaquille O'Neal, which was fun in and of itself. So there's that. Oh man, I can't get a clear shot of his head, and I thought I had the reference for it, but I don't, because I don't want to draw a random Steel, and it's like, oh, that's dumb, but I think we're just gonna go with what we have here, because he's, it's just this buff dude, pretty much, it's like, he's just this buff dude. Oh wait, and then we still got to put in the S. That's what's missing here. Okay, but see, it's like, okay, so it comes in like so, but then Now it's supposed to be up like that, but that's not, we can't do it in here, it'd be down here. So we'll pull that down so that it looks more like an S there. So that's okay. And then trying to, get the Superman swoosh in there, like that. And then I guess it's here, right? No? Maybe here. Maybe that swoosh doesn't even exist because it looks a bit tight. So we won't do that. We're just gonna come in and be like, all right, so there you go. All right. So, but I like that he had a hammer, right? Kind of reminded me of like John Henry, right? And it was like, oh, the working man Superman was kind of cool. So, it was interesting. It was definitely interesting to say the least as far as the character went. And I'm glad to see that it, kind of survived, which is nice, because once again, it does give us another black character that is there for representation, which is nice. But once again, I was just like, still not a big Superman. I'm not a big Superman fan. Mostly because, up until recent, he was almost like he was indestructible. And I know that there's kryptonite, and people always fight me with that. They're like, well, what about kryptonite? And like, yeah. But, as things have gone on, he's just become stronger and stronger. And it's like, kryptonite, that means nothing to me. It's just like, he's really not that hurt by it anymore. So it's like, right? That's for me. And then he got like superpowers, right? He became Goku for a while, able to just shoot off a ton of energy for no real reason. He's just like, oh yeah, I have this power now too. You're like, wait, what? And so, which was just super. I don't know. Like I said, I couldn't. He was too powerful. That's just all there was to that. He was just too freaking powerful. And that's what did it for me, right? It was just like, Superman was just always all powerful. I just couldn't get behind that. Even though, as far as morals go and stuff like that, he was absolutely the one to follow. And so, like I said, as I've grown older, I've come around to accepting the character way more than I did before. And so I like him for what he stands for and stuff like that. So I'm super excited about that. But I don't, like I said, I don't necessarily follow Superman. Ooh, that doesn't look right. It's S and then, oh well, I don't have time. It's like, don't have time. I know it's something that I should probably really look into, but it's gonna have to be the last thing that I look into. And like that, see, and that's the thing, like not knowing how the symbol works. And I was like, I don't know. Especially since, most of the time when I'm getting my reference, it doesn't, I don't find exactly what I would need for my purposes, and so I'm kind of always stuck a little bit making stuff up. address it eventually, especially since now, you know, he is just, luckily for me, or not lucky, you know, depending on how you want to look at it, you know, he's all pretty much one color. So it does make things, at least color-wise, makes things way easier to deal with. But, right, even with that, you're just like, well, but now, you know that everything has to be that color. So now it's like, oh, do I have enough time to get all of the same color in? Right, it's just, I swear, I don't know if you guys are struggling with these as much as I really do have a hard, well, and I know, for the most part, I wanted to make this challenge because I know me, right? And I'm like, I'm kind of a slow, not kind of, I am a slow artist. And so doing something like this forces me to try and draw faster, right? And let go of certain things like, oh, it's got to be perfect. You got to, yep, right? You got to see it and it's got to be perfect. But I will finish this because I don't want it to look all ugly, right? Because I do come back in and I try and clean them up. So, all right. So, wow. I got red everywhere. Did not finish this one. And that's okay, right? And then looking at that, I'm like, that's not right. That S isn't right. So we're going to have to figure something out there too. So I hope that you can see that no matter what, sometimes it's just hard, right? And you just can't get it to work right. And that's okay, right? But we're trying to move faster and forward and go, oh, well, now I understand this, or now I understand how I can make that work, or this work, or that was faster, or that technique was interesting. So it's all the process, and it's all about trying to just get better. And as long as you are practicing, you're going to get better, right? Especially when you start doing things that are not timed, because that pressure is gone. And so now, but you're naturally drawing faster because you've just been doing it for so long. So I hope that you are participating in these challenges. And if you are, please head on over to my Discord channel and, excuse me, and take the link that's in the description and join the community so that we can see just how far along you're coming and how you're progressing and how you're leveling up whilst doing these exercises. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you get notified every single time that I drop new content. Thank you all so very much, and I will see you at the next episode.